But we don't want to empower people in here. We say that our lawmakers, we have become lawbreakers. We have become criminals. We put all the money we put for ourselves and leave them out. I want to challenge some of your lawmakers. Some people say they want to listen up. They're breaking all the law. The law is really breaking the law, but you want to go out. You know why people want to go out? They want to want to increase the time and increase the too short. You cannot be on stuff, then you want to go slow. You cannot be on long level and then you try to the Lord and we pay ourselves. Then you say you want to think about that, you waste your time. Nobody else can see what they want to equal to read. But what we can see what is not happening, it will never happen. The only thing they are there for, when now people from their government, they say, every people, not your lawyer, giving 1% of what was in law. But the Satan over there is what they are funded for because they need water. If are the person that needs water, and the person that gets people to the water, we install our family because some people are happy. Because it is a time to be happy. It is nobody's time when the country is not better. It is everybody's time when the country is better. And we give them as a challenge to all of you people. 2029, we will be qualified for the president. We will come here and say, for the family, you people will have to appoint a commissioner or secretary. For the family, they are educated people. They never education. It's about how well you govern the people. They are people that are degrees, they know nothing. The only person with interest in what I hear is nothing from. Our marketeers will come to power. In every country, at least 2 levels and programs for marketeers, business runners, and younger boys to empower themselves. The money is there, but everything is not the country that is business up. Because we are folks. Talking to the president, you know, Putin.
Yeah, my phone remember to I heard laptop here so easy you after Lulu after the whole letter after my phone it is my freaking no from you computer in right. If you do yes you click
Docubo, as a fighter, his eyes are blended with human blood. That's why he's not even seeing. Okay, that's the way that the lowest I can go in my moderate. For you to say I'm moving out to fight, it means he was not sober enough to know that I use my time behind the line. It's time to use my connection to bring national aid to our people. As late early as 1992 or 91, I left from school and came to Qatar with MSF Belgium, where I served as the chief surveyor for the nutritional status of our people, where I visited all the kingdoms, visited Boble, I visited Butu, whenever I visited to get to our people in terms of nutrition. I used food for West Cocopies Lodge, I went to Ghana, and visited president and brought to their needs. So for him to say that they are mobilized, it must be his dream. That's why we are saying that those who want to force you into the public limelight are not doing justice to you. You know, when you do it to children, they say child abuse. This time we say illiterate person abuse. They are abusing illiterate person. You're not supposed to expose them, you know, you're stealing degree all over here, and you're supposed to be putting yourself on a pedestal to teach who well. Who's going to listen to you? You are unfit to be in the public realm. So I never put it out anybody. Maybe anybody.
Oh, yes, indeed. Politics. Politics. The conversations are heating up from all corners of Liberia. Monday looks like we expect it to be the start, but it's like we're already in the middle of the heat. The energy, the cold, the conversation, the accusations flying here, there, yonder. Everybody is speaking out. Whether it's Liberians in the diaspora, Nigerians in Monrovia, in the county, politics are heating up just everywhere. As if to say election is tomorrow. Don't know why all of these things are going on, but the atmosphere looks very calm. Good morning, Liberia. Good morning, just wherever you are this morning. A pleasant welcome to yet another intriguing conversation on the nation's premier breakfast platform, Freedom Money Rock and Freedom 87.9, where we discuss the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development. This is the People Station, the big station, Freedom 87.9, streaming live in the heart of Monrovia. Today is Monday, and it's a good Monday. And of course, good morning to our friends in the diaspora, our friends and followers. It's always a good thing to have you join us, as always. And so this morning, there are too many things to talk about, lots of things happening in Liberia. And yes, indeed, we will bring you the analysis of those issues that matter most to Liberia's progress, growth, and development. And that's why we are the nation's number one breakfast platform, the most favored, and of course the favorite listening to
with the full representation of the views and aspirations of the common people. This is a big station. And so the president returned on yesterday from another useless travel. He brought nothing, empty-handed travel. The president flat out. The big book, the most gigantic private plane took the president out of the country over the weekend. Oh, if you don't know, the president continued to fly private jet. In fact, you can see the sizes. I saw it in the street. I don't know. The president is flying private jet and Nigeria, living room, temple, factory, and man lives comfort in the air. From the Nigerian people money. Big terrible private jet, biggest ever that any president in Nigeria has seen. Oh, Baka. Enjoying old age, man. The man is enjoying old age. He's chilling with the president. People say, like, when asked to the president, what is he doing? How does the script translate into meaningful, insightful gains for the country and all that? The president was saying at the airport, with local, the country will not be the this is what I think that's this is a future still but look, we are back at it, and of course, the break is over, the weekend is gone, and we engage and engage. I like to analyze and simplify all of the issues happening in the politics of Liberia. This is political. We don't do pampering here. I have to give that. For spirit, that's why the fear of gossip, so all kinds of things the same people after. But anyway, they're weak, in the project to provide. So this morning, folks, we're gonna go more. Somebody please knock on the door of Mr. Johnson, the head of the Lagos Procurement, Public Procurement and Concession Commission, or committee, whatever it is. We have a very insightful conversation where we will time at the PPCC, particularly in turning over some critical procurement conversations, what we clearly evaluated to be violations, and of course, a lot of folks are asking why is this ministry occupying the road. We want to challenge his ideas, we want to challenge his time, we want to challenge him for asking for an intellectual discourse, to whoever. You know, just tell him, oh, this guys are the way you can do it, we have to do that. That was breakfast. It was very radical breakfast. Because the Lavinci money came there as a referee was plundering. This person is going to be losing millions. I think it's 3 millions in this person to be there as people sit on there, you eat and they do these things happen. You're killing your country, you're killing your side, you're killing your rules, you're killing your responsibility, and then you go to the fact you out today. Correct this one this morning, right here on the big station. And of course, the wave of more justice and more violence, it surge in more justice and more violence across the country. And I know a lot of you have been witnessing and observing that these things are taking a whole lot of it's me eating across and it's becoming so normal and all of that. So we want to talk about that. Yesterday I was able to watch this video, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. A kid with motorcycles riding over another human being.
Sorry for those of you watching the live, the sound, and I'm sure the sound is good now, right? So the guy, they put a guy down. I don't know what he's being accused of. Some say a motorcycle criminal, blah blah blah, whatever the case. And then I mean, the guys are riding. You saw that video, right? Oh man, you ain't able to watch that video. The men are riding the motorbike, they passing over the guy, all the people taking stick, beating. Liberia is turning into something disaster. I can't play that video yet. We are not able to play that video. It's bad. And then I'm imagining the level of wickedness that's coming back to this country. The level of wickedness that's coming back to this country. And the president is acting so on border about all of these things. You have a police inspector general. If you just take Gregor Common picture before and now, you see he is getting fat, he's getting big, large, and all of that. And you think he's doing a good job when when the communities are unsafe, right? Nobody has the right because a person has been accused of stealing motorbike, and then you do not have the capacity to determine whether that person actually stole the bike, and then you call mob action, and then you start killing the people. I mean, the manner in which it's happening is terrible. So we're going to have very lengthy conversations about that this morning and other issues making news in the country. But guess what? Our big man from Nigeria is here, and the man is here. When you see the man swag, so Dugu has arrived. Hey, Oga, Charlie, well done. My man, guys, feel the Nigerian people with the money.
So let me say good morning to you, Abu, and good morning to our audience. It's good to be back home, not just being back home, but it's good to be back behind these microphones and doing the Liberian people's job. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to God first for the grace given, the gift of life as well, and to just everyone who have always supported me. Yes, it's good to be back here to continue with the Liberian people's job. You will not imagine how much I miss being here, how much I miss being behind here to talk about issues of concerns to our country. And being back here, I see it as an opportunity, and I'm grateful for that.
Well done. And so too many things has actually happened.
Yeah.
While you were away and all of that. For example, your native Nimba has been very active recently with the politics. Sons, permanent sons of the county has been at each other neck. Whether is folks from the CMC, right, and then the NDR, the Unity Party.
Okay.
So they have been at each other's throat in the county. We've seen wars from the vice president's camp, the senator's camp, and of course,
And also speaking, in fact, he's currently on a local radio.
Oh yeah, radio. It's a Gompa, voice of Gompa.
Yeah, it was a company.
Yeah. He's live, and so he's actually responding to some of the things. Yesterday, I saw somebody wrote on Facebook that the vice president was demonstrating maturity. There was silence in go. As you show that man remain silent. I saw the notice that he was going to make appearance this morning on a local radio station in Nimba. So, and of course, last evening as well, former representative of district number 8, Larry Yonkwa, a very opinionated old man, and also was addressing, he's the vice chair for statistics.
Statistics at
CMC.
the CMC.
Yeah, level. So he too had to come in defense, and then of his political leader, and why a political leader is a better option today. And then they generally particularly ask about making comparison to the big spending that Musa is doing to the like of Kennedy Sandy, and of course Vani Sherman in 2005, the experiences and all that. And he made a profound response. You can look at it. So for those, in the case of Vani Sherman was a regular elite Congo guy who just stopped right in Mamba Point there, hang around there. The only time you see him in a big car, probably he's going around. You only see his glasses down. Time for election, you put the money outside. The people know you, the people don't know you. No connection with the people. Kennedy Sandy lived all his life in America. A few months to election, bring money, starts splashing money. The people don't barely even know who is Kennedy Sandy. right? So comparing those two scenarios to Musa, Musa is in the trenches with people. He's identifying with school. He identifying with hospital. He identifying with the county, right? As far back as Ebola time, when even the late senator could not identify with the county, Musa went and took 10,000. Then you are not even in politics and give it to the county Ebola fight and all of that. So, and then when you listen, well, I say people like Larry and like sons, not many know how to make sense. So, it's gonna be a fight in Nima. I can say it's gonna be a real thing. I don't know. Can the vice president bring to bear sound leadership? Because he is the biggest political character in the county. Now your kinsmen are at each other, so now you bring in that leadership to see. So I don't know, but can this gonna be the first test to Kun's leadership? His ability to lead in crisis and bring about resolution, unity, and ensure that. So if you can unite Nimba, but if it goes to the process with Nimba like this disjointed, I mean that would be an exposure of his incompetence and of course limited leadership prowess. And it's going to cost him a lot in 2020 now. But again, they're depending that there was still election. But I mean, analytically, this is a test to Kun.
I was it's terrible. Why away? I always keep keen focus on my internet and was always trying to get abreast with some of those happenings in our country. And Abu, what is happening in Neva? For me, I am not surprised. Like I've always told you and others here on this platform, I'm one person who is not absolutely surprised about what is happening, because the fact is, when I saw these people trending and behaving the way, or starting up the way they started as political as government and all of that, I was like, especially after the death of Senator the late Senator Johnson Abu, I knew that this was going to be just what was going to happen, because I knew that the fight for political showmanship in Nimba would have intensify. And in this case, the vice president feel like yes, he's the vice president. In fact, he's the so-called political godfather of the country. And Mayu, due to his immaturity, like I've always said, Kun has survived at the benefit of the late Senator Johnson. In terms of political maturity, Kun is not mature politically. Kun has always been like a bare boy who has always benefited from Senator Johnson lifting his hands. Kun did not go into any election in Nimba or in this country that he did not get support from Senator Johnson. So at this point, Kun is 40 now, and the only way he can fight is to fight with the name of the late senator. As we speak, in fact, there are plans for a so-called memorial service of the memorial of the late senator on the 28th of next month. So Kun is always trying to bring in the Senator Johnson sentiment so that Nimbayans can buy into it and feel like yes, he's the direct, he should be the direct beneficiary of Senator Johnson's grace.
But you should rather be focused on the real conflict at hand, because this is not
and
people are not conflicting
in
with
terms of conflict resolution, in terms of leadership ability. Kun lacks everything, Abu. You understand that a man who is a vice president is unable to unite just a country that he is fighting to be so-called political godfather of. Abu, if Kun was somebody mature enough politically, Kun should be fighting to unify Nimba and have Nimbayans speaking in one tune. But in this case, Kun feels he feels comfortable having a divided Nimba, that divide and rule method that what Kun is trying to use in Nimba. And it's only up to Nimbayans again. For me, I've said this consistently. What I saw during the last elections, how ungrateful and in fact unserious the Nimbayans are, I just feel like they can go whatever way they want to go. But trust me, in terms of critically analyzing what the real thing is, Kun is not into this for Nimba. He's into this for his personal interest, and that's just it.
with the can his Prince Johnson memorial service help in any way?
It's going to set the tone so that we understand what Nimbayans still think about him. You know, he's trying to test the water.
Will you invite people? Do you think you invite people to Koga
I don't-
disability?
Abu, if the man is even unwilling to settle, Abu, if Kun was a leader, this thing between he and Koga would not have gotten to the public. If Kun was a leader, this thing between he and Koga is somebody who has supported Kun from even during the 2023 election.
But they say Kun supported him vehemently in the just and the senatorial election.
He was left with no option.
So Kun Kem is making it seem like Koga is being ungrateful. He's showing ingratitude. At
So a man who benefited from political support from the CDC, from the late Senator Johnson. You heard how Senator Johnson spoke before he died, or when he spoke to Abraham Williams. You heard how he spoke. You heard what all he said. You heard the revelations that he made. That a man who he stood for throughout his political career could not stand for him when he needed him the most. Who was that man? Jeremiah Kun. The Senator Johnson that Kun is making like Nimbayans to feel like, oh, he loves Senator Johnson so much. This Senator Johnson, Kun was the one who support. Since Senator Johnson died, have you heard about the issue of war crimes code? Kun was the one who pushed that because he wanted to be the so-called Nimakande godfather. So a man who behaved to somebody that made him in that form and manner. The CDC that did everything.
Okay, 1 minute. You keep playing star 255 star 1 hash. Who knows? We may likely give rice also.
Yes,
right.
So,
I'm still talking with my people, but just keep playing. Anything is possible on this Monday morning. Star 255 star 1 hash. Imagine you play 50 Labrador and then you win a bag of rice. Also, that's a lot, right? Star 255 star 1 hash is the code. The more you play, the better chances are to win. So go ahead, may I learn your thoughts.
So he cannot be talking about people being ungrateful. Kun is the most ungrateful politician in our country history. So he should not be talking about somebody being ungrateful. Kun, in fact, Koga announced his candidacy, right? Koga went on the MDR ticket. Koga won primary on the ticket. He was not handpicked as he has always been done with Kun in the case of Senator Johnson the late. So Koga won primary. Koga went as the face of the MDR. Kun was left with no other option. He was left with no other alternative. Just how the MDR handpicked somebody in District 5 through the influence of Kun. That person wasn't supported solely from by Koga, but Koga thought to keep moving. He, in fact, just kept it cool. So he was left with no other option but to just keep quiet and support or behave like he's supporting the MDR candidate. That was the party mandate. So Kun should not be boasting all around here that he supported people who voted for Koga. They voted because Koga was presented to the Nima public.
So Koga said this: traditionally, Jeremiah Kun is my son, and I respect him. But as a leader, I must speak the truth. If he wants to face off, I am ready.
Yeah.
Has it gotten to that point?
And that's where we are. Because Kun has failed to exercise has failed to exercise leadership.
And he sends talks to insult Koga and other.
And that's the terrible thing about it. Even Abu, that's what I said. This is why we've gotten to where we are. Abu, when in fact, when elders of the country were making efforts or quote unquote to reunite these two, Kun was sending people after Koga. Who are some of those that he was sending? You know of Prophet Key. Prophet Key have consistently accused Koga of trying to have an affair with the late senator's wife. That is something that Kun and his team orchestrated.
So in the night, he sent people to insult the
man.
In the day,
all of his political bear boss are insulting the man. But in the day, he sent others out to go and add that they want to unify the two of them. So Kun is playing a culpable friendship. Kun got men like Prophet Key that he has used or he is using to always try. All of what they're trying to do is to make Koga unpopular in Nimba.
So let me ask you one question. Do you think there are chances for Kun and Koga to work together, or is it late?
I mean, this is politics. What will happen after?
With the level of with everything that's happened, the mistrust, the distrust, the
Koga. All I can say to you for a fight is Koga is somebody who go for what he wants. So if Koga have decided that they are into this until Kun can submit, Kun will have to submit before they get out of this.
So what is his definition of Kun submitting?
There are you listen when we spoke to
For Kun to accept him?
you listen when we spoke to Armstrong the other day on this radio.
Yeah, Celeport.
Armstrong outlined the demands of the senator. And you, in fact, you've listened to him.
Those
no, so you've listened to the senator. He
if those are his actual demand, I'm not sure they're
going so even if that, but at least let's forget about all of what Koga, let's say Armstrong listed, right? Let's get to what Koga himself has said. Koga have said he is not being given the respect in terms of making appointments. Why would the president of the republic respect the vice president, and the vice president is not respecting the senator of the country? What is happening? Even lawmakers who are within who are within Vice President Kun's cycle, they are going after Koga, insulting Koga.
Okay, so lastly on Nimba, folks, this is a kind of breaking news to an extent, but just keep it right. Keep it, and let's all of us start doing our little investigation and see what we get at. So I have gathered informations about in this place, Tapita, right? Is it Tapita? Yes, Tapita. Let me see. So HAGGAI in
Tapita, District 6. Tapita is in District 6, and District 6 lawmaker is one of those who are seriously raising war on Senator Koga.
Yes, in Tapita. So there is another secret clandestine villa being constructed somewhere in Tapita.
Okay.
Just as the FOIA
for the vice president or the president.
I can't say for who, but there is a secret construction going on there. So assuming, like recently, Kula Fofana spoke and said, "Oh, it's a presidential project," but that was nonsense because you know why? You don't do presidential project like that. It would be secret because we exposed them. So Labyrinth can clap for us because at the end of the day, we compare them to say that Labyrinth project. But yet still, we still need accountability because the law requires on how these things are done. So if you're found not following the law, you could be held. This government will not hold you, but in future you'll be held. So the good thing, all of you have to know that as you're going about enjoying yourself, just know the day your lead power will come for you. And at the thing they let you hear. So one thing we can guarantee, we do not expect this government, because look at PPCC that we're going to talk about, all of them flaw. LCC is not respected, GSC, they don't respect them. You see here the finance minister tried to disrespect the authority or the integrity of the LCC, the GSC, and say, "Oh, let LCC can investigate me." GSC just did a beautiful job, and you say, "Oh, so what are you trying to indicate? That they're not credible, they're not reliable, don't trust them." I want to go on this side. So another one we are to interpreter. We're telling you again. So as time goes by, we'll keep following it. We already got people deployed. We'll see how we can get pictures. And the scene we were able to get some stuff from FOIA. They were hiding the FOIA thing. And then we'll get it. Once we'll lay our hands on it, we'll definitely bring it to you. But that I want that you put it on the side of your diary and keep it. The day it pop up, then you know exactly where we are. Well, about the economy, HAGGAI, and then we'll speak to the security expert and of course the crime stopper of the Republic of Liberia, Omen Sam Sion. Shortly, we'll speak with him on the wave of mob justice in the country and what needs to be done. What has gone actually wrong? Why do we see Liberians are getting so, and they're going back to all these terrible things? But on the economy, one guy has been a fanatical supporter of the ruling party, and I've been saying all kinds of things about the former government that he worked in as vice president Nuka, right? Lester Tierney, right? Recently did a podcast. I just want us to play and then we'll speak. We'll spend 2-3 minutes on it and then we'll go to the old man same sign. But keep playing your cash giveaway on *255*1#. The moment we reach 825, we'll do the draw, hoping that we can also be able to give some rice and all of that. But keep playing on *255*1#. Let's listen to Lester and see whether it makes sense.
To reconsider what we are doing here. Something that we all need to reconsider what we are doing here. In all sincerity, the economy is challenged. Why the economy is challenged? Look at the data from the sub-region. Where in this West Africa, you have your Minister of Finance and your central bank governor all accountants. Where? The reason why you have the field of economics is for a certain level of thinking. The reason why you have the field of accounting is for another level of thinking. But the economy is most suitable for an economist. The economy is most suitable and best managed by not just an ordinary economist, but a seasoned, well-entrenched economist. It is not intended to denigrate the effort of the minister and the central bank governor. But it appears as if we ourselves are beating our drum of.
So basically, it's to highlight why you have all of the economic troubles in the country today.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why you're having all of the economic trouble in the country today, this man is providing his own expert opinion on the matter. That look, there is a fundamental error in the setup or the configuration of the economic team to manage the Liberian economy.
Failure. And that will raise the eligibility criteria of the alternative. Hear me clear. If we dash the hopes of our people,
if you hear the eligibility criteria of the alternative saying they come back or
Yeah, they
we
come
are, but
back,
he
yeah,
seemed to say
They
it
don't see it
directly.
that way.
You know, so they are in their cycle, getting to understand that where it's coming back clearly now. Like we've been telling you, you know, we have been here when everybody left, everybody felt that it was finished. We came here on these radios and behind these microphones and told you Liberians that George Weah, the CDC is coming back. The common people will come back to power, remain firm, remain holding, and today everybody is gravitating, everybody saying it now. We will even started giving you the hope you're forgetting about, but no problem. Up at our job, you do our job, then you'll go ahead. So basically, that's what you're trying to say, but you want to say in a different way to make it seem like, say, the alternative, rekindling or that your business. Oh no, we are coming back.
our people, because we fail to address the burning macroeconomic issue, the bread and butter issue, it will elevate the status of the alternative.
The CDC, we are.
It will create an enabling environment for the alternative to think and believe that he came to rescue the rescuer.
All right. So of course the people will be coming back.
And we will have ourselves
because
to
the
blame.
rescuers are drowning.
We will have ourselves to blame. You cannot manage this economy with $800 million. You cannot. The economy cannot be managed by prayers, nor prayer band, or
We're telling
people
you.
going to churches.
Well, all the pastors and all the pastors from
You
the
have
EFW junction,
sufficient
they will not
resources in this country to change the narrative. You cannot run a country where Beer Mountain is exporting over 800 million US dollar worth of gold alone, and you are complaining of reaching up to $1 billion. Then something is tragically wrong with your circuit. Something is fundamental.
Man, do you know what I mean? Something is tragically wrong with Bwaka's sake. That means he brain. So you see, the people can use different words. They
They want
be insulting
modify
the
it,
papi.
yeah.
then we can explain it for you and say, oh, I wouldn't. So I mean, technically, so who is the leader of the country? Boakai. So who set up the economic management team of the country of Boakai? Who makes the appointment Boakai? So if Boakai sets up the team like that and he expects that that team will deliver, and then Lester says, if you think in your mind that with this setup, this is how you're going to manage the economy, this is how you're going to manage unemployment and the bread and butter issue, then I mean something is tragically wrong with your psyche. How can this man be insulting the old man like that? How can this man is being very rude towards the president of the republic, and none of the Unity Party folks understood that this man was insulting Boakai. But look what, guess what? This man, they fraudulently hired this man into the university and gave him a big job and put him on the payroll, and they were able to manipulate the system and pay the man retroactive. The man finished collecting a retroactive. He sit down behind a phone. He said, I will use words. I will cause the old man. They will not know. Say something is tragically wrong with the man's psyche. Something is tragically wrong with the president's psyche. This is rudeness.
Something wrong. In simple terms, something wrong with the papi. That one.
But look, man, the things he said, it's just simple for anybody to understand. And we've told you times of our number, probably in different words and in different ways. And a lot of you out there pretend to be very smart and intelligent because you think you can dress nicely and you can hang out with some other people that sits in particular corner and ostracize and just separate yourself from the rest of the people, and that means you're smart. And a lot of you are the classic example of dullness in Liberia, right? That you are unable to imagine the weight of bad governance in this country, and you still believe that by the mere fact that Unity Party is in power, then that means things are okay, irrespective of the data, the figures, the reports that are coming out. You still believe, and you can be educated, you can brag of being educated, and then you be so naive, and to conclude just on argumentum a populum. So this idea is popular, this narrative is popular. So because it's popular is a fact. No, it doesn't work like that, right? It doesn't work like that. So this is it. The people have held the economy for almost 2 years, right? Almost 2 years they're managing the Liberian economy, and they have identified no direction. We don't know whether we are going in front or we are going behind or we are stuck one place. And this is a mark of a failing regime. This is a mark of a failing regime, and it is even more saddening. A lot of us have to keep worrying because we don't know what the future will hold. We don't even know what is in the air if the government and the president continue to operate ignorantly of the facts and the circumstances and the conditions and the complaints that Liberians are making. It's terrible. It's troubling. Any little thing could sparkle something here, and we'll be having conversation about the Madagascar situation that just happened a few days ago. We don't want that in Liberia. So we're pushing the government to deliver, we're pushing the government to do the right thing. Lester says it is foolhardy to imagine that you're going to have two accountants managing the fiscal and monetary arms of our economy, and you expect it to be perfect or near perfection or impactful on the life of the people as in addressing the bread and butter issues, painstakingly and of course in an impactful manner. No, so it doesn't work because an economist in the economic realm has a certain degree of thinking, and that thinking contributes in a certain way to solution finding for the economy, and an accounting equally plays a particular role and a particular thinking that also contributes. But generally, it makes a lot of sense to have a seasoned, well-learned economist to take charge of the general management of a country's economy. But the smart people, the Harvard, the Harvard League, and, graduates, they form a government, and they have an old man who Lester has described as having a dramatic, a catastrophic issue with his psyche, right? Bring the man makes appointment and takes so accounting and put them over the economy. The whole thing going juba.
No, but it's good that it is coming from within their cycle. This is a man who is feeding on the budget of the state-run university. In fact, he's the man. I don't know who threatened, who told the man say you are a part-time or part-time.
That's him right there.
So
Like you see whether you take pay.
yeah. So the fight is it is coming from within their cycle. When we say these things, some of you always feel like, oh, we got some personal issues against some other individuals within the government or maybe the president. No, we don't have. What we always sit and see here are what we believe are happening, and you maybe sometimes it is just a matter of time for you to realize that yes, they are all fights. So when you listen to a man like Lester coming out and speaking in the form and manner that he spoke, underscoring, underpinning the thoughts and belief that the president psychologically or mentally the president is not right, he's not making the right decision. You listen to the guy how he plays it, and he spoke saying that pointing a finger on his head. So it is clear that these are things that are happening. The country economy is, like Delon said before, it was in a septic tank. I don't know how far it is now, whether it is still there or it has gone below that. So you cannot be talking about maybe transforming the country, and then you're talking about the president building $10 million duplex in Lofa County, and we are also hearing about another one in Tapeta, Nimba County. All of these things are happening. They within their cycle, they know, they understand these things, but they will not want to say it out to you because they feel like no, that's where they are surviving. They don't want to speak it out before the president maybe take action against them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you see the deceptive politics we get playing in our country. Our country continue to get stagnated. Our country continue to keep to where it is while other countries are moving forward.
Certainly, and I agree with you. So keep playing *255 *1#. So to conclude the whole matter, right? As all of these things are happening, some of the major problem of this government is the intolerance to listen at councils and to listen at fair opinions, and the mostly interested in the our service colonial style of analysis, and of course a look at issues in the country. And everybody can be colonial bala. Everybody can be Bella lawyer. Lawyers. The regime will plot other things or create narratives around you. So here's what we've gathered as to how people within the cycle of the president are thinking about the likes of Lester Tenney and of course Stanton A. Waterspoon and a few others. So people within the president's cycle, and I'm saying that they're listening and they know and all that, right? So people within the president's cycle are now holding the belief that Lester Tenney and Stanton Waterspoon are doing the bidding for the VP, Vice President Kuhn, right? To attack Gafon. And I got some secret on Stanton Waterspoon and Kuhn situation, right? So bidding for the VP to attack Gafon. That's what you see. Lester now is positioning himself as a man who now identifies that there are flaws and that things are not working, and is being blunt on identifying the psychiatrical inefficiency of the president.
And that's the real message. The real message there is because you feel like the president psychologically
basically that's what he can.
He's not strong. So the next time Liberia should not give him the opportunity but to call for him to come up. Now why you see?
So basically that's what he can. The purpose of that message, that the video we just play right now, the purpose of it was to come and say the man who has the appointing power has a psychological problem. So he needs a mental rehabilitation, or as the decisions are pointing to a very deteriorating psyche. How can you say that to your president? You say you're part of the team, you're part of the intelligent people team, and you're insulting the president like that. So elements within the cycle of the president believe that uh, uh, he Tierney and of course the other guy from Spoon or Stanton, right, are doing bidding for Jeremiah Kuhn. Then the question becomes, why would Jeremiah Kuhn be sending attack dogs to behind the scene, keep attacking his boss and all of these things? But the president himself is not equally sitting idly, right? As this man keeps attacking not only the president, but it's also attacking the finance minister, Augustine Gaffron. Why for? There are elements that believe and want Gaffron to be picked as vice running mate to Kun in any given situation. But it seems Kun already has an arrangement with Bon County Prince Mode that they have been working on for so long, right? So Kun is not prepared to let that out. So you folks like Mo Ali, Cornelia Cry, and that are clique, right? They want Gaff. Even Patrick, Patrick won't run in. For those of you that don't know, Patrick wants to run in Lofa County District number 3, Judy Fatoman's district. Oh, he has not said it, but I know he has started bidding some hemp. You guys are so very unserious. Steve on the boy go carry him on. Say he wants to run and all of that. So maybe when we expose it, then you get scared, you take him for inside. So they'll be attacking that Gaff because the VP does not want to take Gaff as his VP pick in any given situation in the future, as is being pushed by Mo Ali and others. Mo Ali and others want Gaffron to be on a Unity Party feature ticket, right? But VP Kun and his man Primo has already built a tendency for as long as 2023 they started putting it together, right? Now, on the other hand, people in the very cycle of the president are using Koga. I'm told that there are elements within the president's cycle working with Koga. So Koga is not entirely operating, as an exclusive opposition guy or a guy trying to just lean entirely towards the opposition, but he also has elements with vested interests in the cycle of the president that are also aiding and abetting his attack on the vice president, Jeremiah Kuhn. So Koga are going to keep attacking Jeremiah Kuhn, VP Kuhn, right, to destroy him in Nimba. So in any given instance, in the belief of those within the president's cycle, Kuhn beyond Nimba has no solid constituents. So that would erode and leave the conversation open, in 2029, and Kuhn will not have a kind of domineering, stance in the conversation as to what the political future looks like. Then some other forces will dictate with him, for the most part, because if Nimba remains consolidated beyond Kuhn, it's difficult for them. So they need Koga to do the war.
So people who don't understand, they feel like it is the making of the current breed of opposition. They don't know that internal fight that is within the government cycle.
It is a circular firing squad that's been established. They're in cycle, men on men. So they're fighting among themselves, right? So, but the opposition is going to profit out of it, and at the end of the day, it becomes what it becomes. So the people are more focused on that. They're ignoring the economy, they're ignoring the plight of the Liberian people, the bread and butter issues. We're about to open the phone lines just to gauge your thought on these things. The police is entangled with it. Another day, I will tell you how HAGGAI Como is entangled with this in the south from which he's coming from, and some other folks within the national security setup. So let's take calls, and then we'll come back. We'll speak with the old man, same sign.
And we can do that on 0776 104 500 ID numbers. You can call us on right here this morning and be a part of the conversation. And also play your cash giveaway. You could win a bag of rice plus 5,000 like $1 here this morning. And all you have to do is to dial star 255 star 1 hash, star 255 star 1 hash, and just for 50 LD. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Peter Sparkle. I do join you from a double room resident.
Go ahead, back.
Sorry for the tone of voice. But you know, Jeremiah Kun is like a stupid and I know how to distract me. When you have people that got me our politics around here, those people that want to self-benefit, they don't need a benefit of our country. So we got to get rid of them. Jeremiah Kun and Prince, we have plenty of sucker. Well, party owner then are playing a soccer against Chris Wood and Jeremiah Kun. We don't need these people in our politics around here.
Okay, thank you. We don't need people like that. Let's talk to this person. Walk away from your radio, please. Good morning. Let's talk to somebody else. 0776 104 104. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Everything going to you.
Good morning. Hello.
You see, God can't sleep. You see, it's going to be people back there. You see, this people in the election. You know, born in like people that are there who make it. You know, the age and health condition, you cannot leave them. But the people you make sure to bring the power to the cell and daily. Let's not tell him he just repeat what you got. But that is true. The country, the one in which the economy of the country look is so bad. It's so bad, and they're not getting attention to the Eldorado. Only to the now. If you want some first right now, take the country, rescue the people. Great job. Bring all the companies. Yes, when you say your president down, then you need to bring all the companies to employ like people. There's no way of getting to it now. But the project can be in taking a situation out of putting people there or how then you talk about 2029. Thank you.
Thank you so kindly. Let's talk to somebody else. 0776 104 104. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Benedict Zhao and I call you for Central Mode.
Go ahead, Benedict.
Yeah, I appreciate you for the show this morning. I think you got on top of the game, bringing the right information to the Liberian people. Regarding the situation surrounding Lester Tenney and the rest of the other guys, these are people long ago that the Liberian people have no trust and belief in. So whatever mean or umbrella they want to resurface to come out by coming through and Jeremiah come to power and whatever way. I think they're picking that man is in terms of the just man over here. They come on and I come down and say whatever way. But in the end, 2029 they'll be flushed out and these are people that will not return to the political landscape of Liberia after 2029. There'll be a new destination where the young people will run the country in the dynasty of the two-way party, and those few politicians, the legal Leslie and Black Mirror and Santa Waterston and the rest of them will be very totally 2029. So, brother, I think 1 month for the show and I keep up the good work.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so kindly. Let's talk to somebody else. David King, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My phone was on there. I wasn't number seven.
Well,
That's the number for sure.
okay, no
Actually, so the issue you have with the good of two of you. Yeah, you know, it is very important for us to know that these two people, if I see that cardio back, like, you know, sometimes there's no cardio on spoon. It sounds very comical. This is a guy who was giving.
My man, we didn't mention Kanye here, so forget about that Kanye thing.
No, okay, let me get you a letter. Letter 10 claims of his supporting Joseph Waka company. He claims that Joseph Waka and Jeremiah Kun are the best thing that ever happened to Nigeria.
that was then, but you listen to the recording we just played.
Yeah. Today he has a different tone. He is now telling us that Joseph Boakai needs to be in a psychiatrist's home than to be in a senior executive mansion. So what that implies, he clearly speaks to the fact that all of money has been seen concerning the two people. One President Joseph Boakai and not being the truth. But he wouldn't say that because he's for President Weir. And you know, you cannot find somebody who got this for Lester and a man who are singing their songs, tell the words for like the other day. They don't say, John Weir was the most dangerous creature walking on the face of the earth. And I call him show. And I said, well, you know who is the most dangerous creature walking on the face of the earth? And he said, the one who is a criminal, convicted criminal by American federal court for 20 days that led to over millions of American citizens dying in the COVID. Because you gave licenses to doctors and nurses who were not doctors and nurses. Due to that, now that Americans died. Today you are being convicted and you are waiting for your sentence.
Okay.
So how can you refer to a clean character as President? We have to be a senior president walking on the face of the earth. You are
Okay, all right,
you.
David. Thank you. Let's talk to this person from the international line. Good morning. Okay, he left the line. 0776-104-104 86-500-104. I did numbers to call us on here. Let's talk to 0776-104-104 86-500-104. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How's the morning?
Good morning.
Yeah, I said good morning. How's the morning?
Okay, go ahead.
Pastor Taylor McGill.
Go ahead, Pastor.
My contribution towards your talk show. Liberians and Liberia should be a serious nation, a serious people. For me, if we talk about integrity, certainty, every individual needs to give an account of what they do and the society. All frown on things that stand at odds. The society should make sure that those people should not be participants in any
Lester is trying to say when we're talking to politics, you move God benefit. And I know God benefit, you do pastor thing the poke and you pastor thing and be stealing from the country. You can learn all the pastor from here to Zweju. It will not help. Let the people do the job. Put the professionals in positions.
Please, I'll give you. I'll listen to what you are saying. But there is no way that any pastor preach the gospel outside of society. Nowhere in the world. I'm talking as a pastor politically. I'm school.
Okay.
But Pastor, you're not talking. Preach.
Let's talk to this person. Good morning.
Say, we respect the pastors and their contributions, though.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
Deal with the politicians. As soon as you're inside the politician, will start hiding behind you. They say, oh yeah, that prayer turn.
Morning.
Good afternoon from UAE. I'm going for UAE.
Go ahead.
Yeah. First, I want to tell you guys thank you for the show. And I want to, send the information to the president of the CBC. They shouldn't take anything to be joke. They shouldn't, allow, say, 2029 reach. People are spending money every day. So they should step on at him and see how best we can take power of our head if God comes to power again. Like go way back in the line in the future because we see every day Labra is going powerful on the social media. We are not on ground of English. So at the CBC, strengthen your base and not take anything that you like. Thank you.
Thank you so kindly. 0776-104-104 86-500-104 are the numbers. You can call us on right here. Let's talk to you here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
I want to speak directly to certain waters. It is wrong on the part of government to have a notorious criminal to have a broadcasting system.
So what about the criminal that are in government, running government? Is acceptable to have criminal in government? There is no punishment and things. So y'all the man want his show. The center did not commit crime in Liberia. The man will run his show. You can't do nothing to the man's
Let's
show.
talk to you. Morning. Morning. Go ahead.
First, I want to thank you guys because the information is very practical and they are to the top. Because the one you talk about interpreter will still follow you up to that with them. Forget all the clandestine activity by this government. And back to that, the Kelly, the clip you played, I think he spoke strongly. It is good that he speak to that because the government are delivering, and then people are using, look at the flag, the president to Togo, just a flag with that kind of heavy plane. Where the money coming from? Look at what he's doing in Kenya. Where the money coming from? No PPCC procedure, no legislative approval. Just take country money secretly, clandestinely, using in different places, you're hiring people that research, that will find a way there. All these things are criminal by nature. You don't do that in a open society. The government need to give a gun. You're coming back to the brand bar issue, nothing for the table. The time is hard, it's difficult. Then the finance minister and the man said, open a prayer, then we should pray. Why should people pray for money when you have in hand?
Okay.
And you are misusing the money.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Look, folks.
All
right? At this point, the laws are not working. The courts are compromised. You need voices like Stanton, right? So if Stanton was good to be on the air yesterday, it should continue. And in fact, we need even more now because the laws are not working. There's partisanship. There's presidential attempt to shield people who are accused of crimes and criminality. Look at the compromise in the Bill Maggie Jones instance. And all of those things that's happening around for somebody, child, 14-year-old to get gang rape. You need strong voices. You need people who will keep vibrating the system. And you can say, oh, for the government. So what can the government of Liberia do? To go shut the man down? That would be equal to censorship. It is not allowed. Look, the foundation that's been set in this country when it comes to press freedom and, of course, the free press, you can't attempt to stop for it. And when you want to do that, I'm not sure the president, that's the last thing the president wants to do, right? To create an environment where the press don't feel free to operate. Of course, you succeed in shutting people down, but you not succeed in shutting the hardship. You not succeed in shutting, right, the bad governance. You not succeed in the violations of people's rights. People are crying everywhere. Look at the instance about this property in Red Light with two families at Loggerhead. Right, I have been doing background independent investigation on it. We're still piling our pieces. We'll come to speak to that. And you hear names. You hold your head. You wonder where we are going as a country. And you say, as soon that the scene where you're saying standards should be cut off, the scene where you're saying we should be cut off. So you lead the country be operating like that, and they project gang rape this country and take everything away. And then after 10 years, we'll come back and say, oh, it's our time. If we were no, we're not so. If we were no, all of y'all, they were no people. You're sitting on one place. You don't get no balls. So you're sitting on, we who got the courage will confront our oppressors and will compel them to change and do the right thing. Because look, when they deliver for the country generally, we'll get our own, everybody will benefit. But if they're operating in the form and manner in which they're doing, the only people that benefit are the people who are willing to bootleg them and be sycophants. Like Kanyo Gbagbala, for example. You're getting a small thing right now because what you're doing. So anybody you decide to do that, you get something. But if you decide to stand firm, you will not get anything. We want a country that works for everybody. We do not want a country that works for only people who are pre-singing government. Only people who are regime apologists. We do not want a country that works for only regime apologists. We want a country that works for everybody, that guarantees opportunity for everybody, irrespective of their background. Do you know why Tomo Fala took the decision he took? And since then, he's been quiet, right? Some of what Thomas Father was afraid of is what's happening to Musa Belete today in his own country. Some of what Thomas Father was trying to prevent is what's happening to John Uboti. Some of what he was afraid of and preventing is what happening to Simeon Freeman. I'm told there's supposed to be a takeover of DSTV, right? By some group. Father, I think I heard it somewhere.
I think I heard about multi-choice in Nigeria.
Yeah, same. Because you pushing the man, your own Liberian, you pushing the man. So at the end of the day, the man is determining to take him from inside and just get the protein out. So you prefer foreigner come and take over it. You prefer Nigerian come and take over it. You will not attack them. You will not cause the STV holding. When they say pay them, you will run, you will pay. But Simon Freeman, a Liberian man from Grand Bassa County, then Dillon is saying that, Yombly is saying that they're attacking the man coming to him for instance. You're attacking Musa. And then Jacotan Post saying that they're clapping for it. Say they're attacking Musa. I say, oh, but the men are supposed to do the politics that they, oh, you sit down and they're attacking your brother, right? They're destroying the man's business. And they're not doing it fairly, they're doing it wrongly. And you provide justification. What kind of country are we? Right? John, you sit down, you're from Grand Gila County, you sit down, John is being attacked. Do you know what it means to have a millionaire from your kind, right? You should work to protect that one, no matter how it be. Do you know what John's contribution has been to Grand Gila County? The county should rally around the kind of preserve the kind of people. You see a regime going for the mayor, targeting the mayor, bringing the mayor down. In Labrador, we can clap. It's Baka. The man who Lester Tenney say got serious problem with Saki. That the man, other people whose labor they suffer, they build their businesses, that man should be destroying, and somebody say, oh, you know the man. Who is Baka? Lester Tenney just told all of you, all of us, that the man gets serious brain problem. That the reason why he ain't appointing correct the way appointment is supposed to happen, he ain't appointing, he even know what to do, nothing, he brain shaking here. They're not really the one saying it. We want to explain it for the people in the market and other places to understand. And I like our Grand Gila, somebody was telling me saying Grand Gila, he got the poke and put the beat speaker up. They say they got one fuller guy across the road, that UP man, and then they got one other Madingo guy, that UP man. So they come beginning and put the speaker and put the sound way up. The man can be getting fat. So shout out to all the guys.
I imagine I can get every morning.
Yeah, every morning. Yeah. So the minute put the speaker will be bombarding. You know what Liberians are doing that? Because look, you can have a country that's only working for one group of people. Absolutely not. People are not going to be happy about that. And we are the ones speaking for the people that you imagine marginalizing. So what do you think they will do? They will celebrate us. And when they're celebrating, oh, you're getting angry, who cares? So let's go to the issues that are actually affecting our people and affecting our community. But keep playing on *255*1#. We're not there yet. Once we meet the threshold, of course, we'll do the job.
We have to make some progress. So let's make some progress this morning.
Yeah, we got to double it up. We got to buck it up. And like I said, once we're able to do it, we could win race. You just don't know what will happen this morning. So keep playing on *255*1#. *255*1#. So you can just continue.
I came in country with that information about a guy who was shot to death by the police. Yeah, I don't know, but
that Matthew.
It was terrible.
You saw the video. The police lied. The police is in Paris right now.
And always, what I've noticed is whenever the police is in error, you find the police argue rushing to make clarity.
Want to go to press conference. So the whole country understands.
So let's take, for example, the case of this taxi driver and the police. The story that I left here. Did you see at any point in time where the police came to make clarity to that? No, because there was a point there that the police never even needed to make clarity. Citizen sympathy alone took the day.
There was no argument about that.
So, but when it is always involving the police, where they've erred somewhere, they've blundered, then you see Gregory rushing to go sit in a photo studio and issue press release.
Correct. And we hope the family will take that issue. Get some good lawyers. That officer will be charged for murder. That police officer will be charged for murder. It's clear. They actually murdered the guy. And then to have a national police or security force that's going around murdering people is terrible. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. I mean, whoever gives that instruction or that order to the police, they're not doing good. They're not doing good for the image of the organization, and of course, this is terrible. But again, Gregory wants to score political point. He wants to come across as a strong man, and he's destroying the reputation of the Lebanon National Police. *255*1#. So let's take this break with Crime Stopper Liberia. When we come back, we'll talk to our guests. This break.
There are crimes in many places. It's about musical. There are crimes in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't tell her in your hands. Call the right authority. Let it come take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us. We need safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor. If you see a you not target, I mean you check. You wait for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. I'm a part of the boy. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stop the crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, just coming for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stop the crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's have it for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self-omen, Sam.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stop the crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's come in for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stop the crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop in crime for all of us.
Oh, yes, indeed. Crime Stopper Liberia. Keep playing the cash giveaway on *255*1#, *255*1#. The number to call, and of course, a number to dial and be a winner here this morning of bumper prices from 5,000 upward to 25,000, and a chance to win a bag of rice this morning on the show. So imagine you win the cash prize, and you also win the rice. Your week is set already, so you got nothing to be talking about this whole confused mission. But look, folks, let's have a very important conversations about all of our safety and protection, and of course the protection of our communities as mob justice and mob action continue to take center stage. The bravery to attack police officers and the lack of morale among the police going out there to confront issues and deal with crimes, and then people resistance and all of those things, and citizens taking the law into their own hands, as we've seen watching video and seeing people getting shot and killed without any investigation, without any determination. And all of these things are happening in our country. We thought these were issues that happen during a state of anarchy, where there is no centralized authority and all of that. So to talk about these things and bring real expert sense and knowledge, and of course adhere to it, we've decided to speak with our own boss, old man Sam Sion, a very seasoned law enforcement practitioner in Liberia, and of course a renowned and of course international law enforcement expert. Old man Sam Sion is on the phone, so let's take Chief. Good morning. I know you don't like all of these things, but it's important that we mention these things. Good morning, welcome, sir.
Good morning, Abu. Good morning, HAGGAI. Good morning to your listener. Good morning, Liberia. We don't normally come on the radio, but what we're seeing right now is very terrific. It's difficult to ignore these things as we see it unfolding on our streets across this country. So thank you for calling me, Abu.
Thanks a lot for also accepting. And so, as always, let's just go straight up to it. Chief, the nation is kind of shocked, and we are all witnessing these horrors unfolds on our streets with dismay, and then we are concerned what have gone wrong. Is this a manifestation of a breakdown in the rule of law, or there is the absence of law enforcement? What could be, first of all, the cause of all of these things happening from a security standpoint?
Well, Abu, we have worked across this country. We have stages here across Maserado and the rest of the countries in Liberia, where we have gone doing this advocacy through our organization, Crown Staff of Liberia, Yappleda Jingo. We're reaching out to communities, we're reaching out to neighborhood, we're reaching out to everyone. You know, the security and safety of Liberia is a shared responsibility. No one can ignore it. Mm-hmm. What we saw happening yesterday in the Johnsonville community, and we have seen that across several communities in Monrovia. Mm-hmm. So that was terrific, that was terrible. I think other people referring to that action yesterday as a summary execution. I don't think Liberia are ready to have that kind of situation. We had a situation the other day in Buchanan and also in Bon County, in Banga, in also in Tottenham-Brock and several in Monrovia, in Maserado. Mm-hmm. The surge in vigilante justice staff in Liberia must call the attention of all of us. Mm. Like I said, it's a shared responsibility that we all have to our country. We owe it to this country. The vigilante justice staff are taking a serious toll on the life of our young people across the country. Yesterday was a typical example where when someone is accused, someone is suspected of committing a crime, the community people themselves they jump there, they don't report it to the police, they go ahead and take the law into their own hands and murder someone in a public eye, broad daylight. We should talk about it. We should continue to provide the advocacy, educate the people how we can avoid these things from happening. The vigilante justice sides have taken a toll on us. Yesterday incident highlight the difficulties Liberians are going through in trying to ensure that we don't have these things happening in the country. So first to start with, vigilante justice side, we have young people on the motorcycles, in the kekes and other places. When they suspect someone, just say motorcycle roll. When you say motorcycle roll, the rest of the motorcyclists and even the bystander, they always jump and kill that person. The message is sent out of Liberia is that a country in West Africa called Liberia, there is an alternative form of justice other than the rule of law.
So Chief, let me just come in right there. So just by that instance you narrated, what do you think, or what could be the motivating factor for those bystanders and other cyclists to join in the murder of that person?
Because most of our citizens don't understand the workings of the law. That's why we're going from community to community. Most of the time, when these motorcyclists or the community people report someone to the police, when they arrest someone and turn it over to the police, or when they walk someone to the police station, once the police take the person and charge the person and put that person in the police holding cell, the community people go back in their community and say the guy is in jail. They fail to understand that the police don't have jail hall. What they have is a holding cell. When individual is put there, the person is there within 48 hours. The police ensure they put that person before a judge.
Okay.
So when the person appears before a judge and they get bailed and go back home, most of the offenses, most of the charges they put on there are bailable offenses, bailable charges. So once they go to the court and get a bail, and that John Brown go back in West Point or Johnsonville or to Soul Clinic, the victim's family and community dweller see that the individual is back in the community, they interpret that as the police release the person. When you're thinking that the police release the person because they are not going to follow up the case, knowing that this case is deniable, the person will come back home. So the alternative they have is next time when someone commits a crime or someone is suspected of committing crime in our community, we will not report it to the police because the police will release the person and they will jump and beat the person. We have preached over and over that the law, when you charge someone and take them to police station, you got to go back to that police station. The police will tell you when to come back to go to court. But most of the time, they don't go to court. When they see the person on the street, they say, oh, yeah, the police have arrested the person in jail. When the person come back, they jump and beat them. That's one phase of it.
Okay.
The second phase, in the night, all the community, most of the community, not all, most of the community got these people call themselves vigilante people. The vigilante people will go from house to house in the community, asking the community dweller to make contributions that they want to be manning the community at night time. Some people get them money, some people get them flashlights and batteries. So this guy will go and erect checkpoints and roadblocks. When you're writing checkpoints and roadblocks, then sit at those checkpoints and roadblocks, manning these checkpoints and roadblocks. When you are a stranger, you usually go to work either early morning or late evening, whatever the time is. So you get in that community trying to find a friend or you're trying to see someone. Those so-called vigilante justice people will intercept you, they will stop you, they will interrogate you. They themselves are attempting to enforce the law. And you are not authorized to enforce the law. So why attempt to enforce the law when the individual resists their questionings and interrogation? Did they attempt to jump on the person and call them roll? Most of the time, those people get hurt, they get killed. Sometimes their vehicle is broken into, and these are the things we're whistling across the country. People don't have authority to enforce the law. So we have recommended to the community. Let me land on this one with the next question. We have introduced to the communities about what we call the community people will have a community.
The neighborhood what?
Neighborhood orientation policing.
Okay.
And I try to explain that.
Go ahead.
So the neighborhood orientation policing is where these community members themselves will have a code, a community code. They will go to a town hall meeting. They have a community code. The code today would be whistle, or the code would be pat, top, or plates and spoons. When you have these spoon, whistles, and whatever, whistles sometimes expensive, but plate and spoon. Every household in Liberia have plates and spoons. So you sit in your house, you suspect someone, you hear someone bumping on your door, you hear someone trying to break your door. All you have to do, take your plate and spoon and start to beat on it. The room that beating that plate, the next room, and all of the rooms, the next house, and all of the houses in that community will try to beat on plate and spoon. The criminal will get away. The community people will not put themselves in harm's way, or community people will call the police upon hearing plate and spoon that they know that someone has infiltrated their community. These are the community where we can work with the police to help secure our communities. Other than that, any other way or any alternative way that is against the law, they put your life at risk and also put the life of other community members in danger.
Okay, Chief.
You can come with
well said. So then, playing the devil advocate. So, at what point do people feel that law enforcement has let them down? Because when you are victimized by quote unquote an alleged criminal, right? You expect that law enforcement will come in, seize the matter, and serve you justice, as prosecuting the person, reprimanding them, and all of that. But then subsequently, when you see the person out, you feel like this system or this process is not working for me. So what can law enforcement do to guarantee to victim that indeed this method is the most efficient and most effective? Because that has to be in the minds of the people.
Well, Abu, crimes affect the community. Those that commit the crimes are from the community. The law enforcement people who enforce the law are also from the community. The community is the center stage. So if you have infractions of the law, if you think that something the law is doing not well or you're not satisfied with it, like I say, we say all the time, no, about the police stations and police depots are less than 1 mile away from all of the community in Monserrado. Less than 1 mile. So all you have to do is take your time, walk that criminal, walk that suspect, who you suspect is a criminal. Somebody must stand in the community, walk that criminal to the police station and say, look, this person from my community, he did this or she did this or he did that. So we brought the person to the police. The police will be able to listen, investigate, and put that individual who you suspect have committed crime, and the person is culpable. The police will hold the person liable. We Abu, from various communities in Liberia, have to understand that we cannot have a law on the book and do to the contrary. So if we think it is okay when people commit crime, we grab them, we kill them, we burn them, we torch them, why then can't we forget about the laws on the book? So the laws are on the book to guard and protect all of us. If today it was John Brown that was killed in that community, suspected, the other day that was a young boy.
Whose responsibility is it for the effective application of the law on the book?
Both the citizens and the law enforcement people. No, the police people can never succeed in enforcing the law until they form alliance with the community. The community people, Abu, are present in all of the community all of the times.
So now that law enforcement has seemingly failed, can we say that that alliance that is very much important to effective policing does not exist? Can we say that alliance is not there between the police and the community people, so there is a shared meaning and understanding in law enforcement that's leading to all of these mob justice and mob actions?
Well, I wouldn't say law enforcement have failed. I would say law enforcement and the community need to do more. They have not failed. They need to do more because the way the situation unfolding, like I said, the police community relationship, the police forming partnership with the community is very, very critical, very essential in reducing crime and disorder. The police people are not present in all of the community all of the times, but the community people are present in all of the community all of the times. The difference between we, the community people, and the police people is the uniform. So we can execute a community citizen arrest and turn this over to the police, not to engage in attempting to enforce the law. These things need to work. No police department will succeed in reducing crime and disorder if they don't have a partnership with the community. The community is very, very, very important. We have to note that. So if there's increase in violent crime, particularly this vigilante justice side, the community needs to stand out. It's today Peter, it's today John, it could be your nephew, it could be your uncle, it could be your relative.
So let me ask you.
Once it's not a relative.
Okay. Let me ask you the particular instance, especially with the motorcyclist issue, right? Most motorcyclists are of the belief that the hikers are notorious, and of course, they're in the community, like you said. The police officers are equally in the community. And in some instances, the police officers know some of these notorious elements. Their names are called, they pass by them, some of them are their friends. So the communities get agitated that these individuals passing around causing harm for cyclists, endangering their life, because sometimes they're dangerously armed and all of those things, but nothing happened. But only when a cyclist arrests a motorcycle criminal, and then it becomes alarming. The police starts to say all of what they say.
Well, I disagree that the police know these people and they are friends with them. What I think the community can do is to take the police to task. So if a community member know of a policeman, a police officer that is friendly, that is collaborating, that's aiding and abetting a criminal, the community should report that to the police. You got to test the system. You got to see how it works. The community leadership, all our community got chairman, co-chairman, this person, that person. The community leaders, I want to challenge the community leadership to take the complaint to the police station.
No, Papa, what I'm saying is, if you, the police officer, know a person and have heard information about a person, can't you arrest the man and bring the man in? Or must it be that somebody from the community must complain the man first?
No, but Abu, you cannot arrest the person if you got no complaint, if no crime is committed in plain view. You got to see crime in plain view, or someone who have information of a crime being committed, report that to you. Other than that, you cannot just see someone and then believe that you got probable cause to hold them if you don't have. So this is the issue. The community, you're who the media people, all of the radio stations, all of the newspapers, all of you need to stand out and preach about people standing up in the communities.
So let's talk about probable cause. An individual in the community, a lot of people have alarmed that this individual is into jacking motorcycle, their stories and all that. Is that not sufficient probable cause for that man to be invited to the police station?
Well, if you say a lot of individuals got suspicions that this guy is doing things, those individual suspicions will relate to a discretion of a professional police officer. Probable cause determination is made by the police officer who believe they are reasonable ground, they are evident that you hold this person, the person you believe in, you got probable cause to hold him was involved in committing crime. Probable cause cannot be determined by the citizen that who is not a law enforcement officer that because the public, the community people got probable cause because of that probable cause they believe that the police, it must relate to the police, that it must be the police probable cause. Probable cause to determine.
So you agree with me? So you agree with me that a lot of the police officers are ignoring their own duty of ensuring and applying probable cause to arrest and save the community of some of these hidden criminals?
No, I don't agree with you, because you are saying if the citizen have a probable cause, that probable cause must relate to a police officer. The police officer must have probable cause. The probable cause the citizen or the community member have must be turned over to the police officer. Call the police officer and gain your suspicions. What you have in mind, what you think this person is, and the police officer make a follow-up. If that police officer fails to do so, move to the next level. Move to the next level, move to the nearest police station, the nearest police depot, or the nearest senior police officer. If all of us start to do this thing in the community, we will compare them to do what is right. But we don't just say because the citizen have probable cause, that probable cause must relate to the policeman. No, it can't work like that.
Can we share blame with the courts? Can we hold the courts responsible, the court system, the court processes responsible for some of these most times lack of trust in the judicial system in a community that's leading to mob justice?
Okay, let me explain that. Look, the criminal justice system has three components. Component one begins with law enforcement. When you are arrested by police officers, by law enforcement individuals, they take you to the police station, they process you, process require all of the things that go on there, and then charge you and take you over to the court. The court is a second component of the criminal justice system where you go for adjudication. When you go to the adjudication process, you go through it, your case is taken. If it is indictable offense, the indictment is drawn, the grand jury get an indictment on you. If it is not or to that level, your case charge is taken to the magisterial court. The court process you. That's why the citizen need to understand if that offense for which you are taken to the police station, that offense for which you are taken to the police station and taken to the court, if the case is bailable, that individual get bail and go back home, and the bill does not indicate the case is being dismissed. That is required by law. So when the person leaves that vicinity and go back in the community people get angry. So, and the next file, if that individual is taken to court and sent to prison, on further examination, whatever sent to prison, okay, when that case is up on the docket, if the person don't have a bill to build that case, when that case come out on the docket, the case is put on trial. Abu, most of the time, the victim themselves refuse to follow up these cases. The victims themselves are persuaded by prosecutor to go to court and follow up these cases because in that case, the victim is the private prosecutor.
Because the man, for example, in the case where the man's a sackless, the man got to continue hustling. He lives about, say, hand to mouth, for example, in the context. So you are putting the man through an exhaustive bureaucratic court process.
Yeah, because that's what the law says. So that's why our Justice Department, our Justice Ministry should make available assisting victim assistance the market. Market might have to go to court, and then market might will not go sell her pepper or the motorcycle without have the time to be going to court back and forth. There should be some assistance. That is not required by law, but there should be some assistance. So a motorcycle were making $500 a day profit, and they say, look, you know what? Saying you got to be coming to court in this case here, all your $500 then we'll give it to you. We'll help you with that because we want to ensure the individual who this thing is prosecuted and convicted of the crime go back in the community and say, look, the man was prosecuted, the man now is in prison, the man going to solve it because the court found him guilty for this offense. And you can only do that. You, the victim, will have to work with the office of the prosecutor to assist them in getting that done. So if you refuse to show out, if you refuse to appear before the judge, if you refuse to cooperate with the prosecution, sometimes the government lost the case. So when they lost the case, you see the man in the community, you say, oh no, they're
to guarantee
talking to the police station, now the police are now free in. That is how lots of our people don't understand the workings of the law. It's frustrating to go through procedure like that, but that's what the law requires that we do. If we have problem with that, we can petition our legislature to change the law so it works differently.
Okay.
But until then, we got to go through that process.
Okay. So finally, Chief, how do we get an end to this or the reduction in this, because it's happening at an alarming proportion, and of course, lives are being lost without any investigation, without any verdict. People are getting murdered.
Daily. You are right. Daily lives are getting lost daily. Look, protecting our communities is a shared responsibility. We have to stand up. We got to work together as community dweller. We got to work with the law enforcement people. We got to bring the law enforcement people and tell them this is what you need to do. You're not doing it. We got to stand out in the community. But we should desist from killing people we suspect of committing crime. That message, Abu, is sent out. HAGGAI just coming from Nigeria. HAGGAI know exactly how Nigeria operates. You saw a lot of things in Nigeria. So you don't want HAGGAI at the airport in Lagos, sitting down there and someone talking say there's a country called Liberia. In that country, there is an alternative form of justice in Liberia other than the rule of law. People take the laws in their own hand and mock people to death. That is a bad thing for our country. That is a bad thing for Johnsonville, where that happened yesterday. That is a bad thing for the community, which they killed that young guy. The other day, they killed some people at the red light. That video was also all over on social media. Killing somebody, believing that the person is this person and the person is that person. If we can't deserve from doing things in here, we'll be carrying our country back, putting it in revolt. We can't continue to look at people blatantly break the law and we share it then. The police need to get involved seriously and go to those communities where the vigilante justice staff are taking place. All of the people in that community, arrest everybody. They will tell you who did it.
But up to now, we've seen no reports from the police on any arrest of that sort.
Well, apparently they might be doing something we don't know, but I'm telling the police they need to stand out. They need to work with the community. They need to intensify their community policing effort. They need to ensure that people who broke the law, people who kill people publicly are arrested and charged. This is how we can remedy this situation. Thank you so much for giving me air time. I don't know, I probably told most of your time this morning, but I appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for your meaningful contribution. And that is an apolitical contribution to the whole conversation, which is good. Sometimes you get the experts' view, void of the politics. And these are the problem. They share responsibilities and all of that. And it has got to do with obsolete bureaucratic judicial processes that need to be revisited. And of course, to conform with the realities today. This is how I see it. I think we need to do a lot of reform and a lot of review of our justice system and our legal procedures, right? How it has to be done to accommodate. Because the reason why the layman down there will abandon the process if he does not have the time, he doesn't have the extra resources. So you look at, I'm gonna be going to the court every day, and you forget about it. And he sits in the community and say, the police not working, the court not working. So what is the state doing to accommodate these people, right? Just as people who have the money and the extra revenue sources can go through the process, what can we do? And the old man spoke about it very well, right? Can the prosecutor office, provide a victim assistance program, something like that? And this is what the central government needs to be focused on. This is what the legislature needs to be focused on in the budget allocation processes. These are the areas they need to look at. Right, because even they themselves are not safe if these pockets, community violence continues, and then they increase further. It becomes alarming. One day, if a lawmaker in a community just do something or maybe get involved, they will take mob action on you. So you need to act to save the community. Thanks to Sam Sign.
And Abu, for me, the reason I think it is not catching national leadership attention is because it is not happening to some of them. But Abu, what is happening? This is a creeping sign of civil unrest, because it will reach to a point. You saw what happened in Nepal. It could reach to a point where citizens will start to go after leaders in the country, especially when they feel like you are the cause for their problem.
Madagascar, therefore LEC.
Yes.
For current LEC, so going, coming, the poor get very
one thing we can do is to try to instill fear in who will be perpetrator. How do you do that? By taking cogent and stringent measure or action against current perpetrator, people who have already committed a similar crime. The way you treat them is going to serve as deterrence. We cannot keep our country like this. It is happening, and maybe again it's not catching anybody's attention, especially from the national leadership or the higher ups. But what happened today if somebody start running after all community dwellers, all district residents start going after a certain lawmaker because they believe that the lawmaker is the cause of their problem? These are just how things like this start. So there's a need that the government try to re-strategize and see how they can handle this. Is a creeping sign of conflict. Because once it continues to happen, it could lead us something, and it will not be good for the peace of our country.
And I agree with you 100%. Star 255 star 1#. Star 255 star 1#. I bet a lot of you want to keep playing at a snail pace until in the last minute. Any which way it's possible in the last minute we can get 3, 4 winners, 5 winners, 6 winners, depend. Star 255 star 1#. So here there's this thing been trending. So we all have ignored and don't want to talk about it, but it's about the social attitude in the country, and all of that is important. So there's been this viral social media attacks and all of that. So there's been this lady who I'm told works in the office of Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence, who has always been on the internet regularly and routinely, habitually, and insulting the former president of the Republic of Liberia, his wife, his family, and she takes it for pleasure. And of course, she works directly, I'm told, with the pro temp of the Republic of Liberia, President pro temp Yombli Kanga Lawrence, in her office. And on particular occasion, she's seen celebrating and of course sharing pleasantry with this very lady that she's aware of. She watch and she sees insulting and speaking in very demeaning, outrageous, and of course uncivilized manner towards the former president and of course his family and his wife and all of that, ignoring privacy, ignoring culture, ignoring everything, right? But there is this two-faced hypocrisy in like where people feel like when something is happening to HAGGAI, oh yes, HAGGAI is okay. But the moment it turns to John Brown, then why John Brown, then becomes an issue. The moral conversation starts. So all of that have not caught our attention. We chose not to get involved. But hearing that Yombli, because I think some segment of the CDC followership have said, look, no, this is nonsense. You see, when we were in power, we ignore some of these things. We were bullied into silence and all of that. So this time around, we're not going to condone or countenance these things. Anybody you come and put your attack on us, you bully us, you go after us. Remember they kind of coined the name UPix. They had to, it was in the opposition that seditions coined the name UPix. Because normally, United Partisans will always refer to seditions in very demeaning and, of course, denigrating fashion, and they feel okay with that. They call them stupidician, they call them all kinds of names and stuff. So the guy said, we accepted this for 6 long years. We're bullied, we're called names, we're reduced, and all of that. But we're not going to do that. So when you call us stupidician, we'll call you UPix. We equate you to pigs, and that thing has equally created a balance. And you see right now, United Party people barely use the word stupidician because they know as soon as you say stupidician, they call you pigs,
and they hate being called
they hate being called UPix. So that has seemingly killed the other debate. So now they're saying, oh, people always go after their political leader. They always insult and equate their political leader to nothing and call him names and blah, 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 and try to reduce his statures and all of that thing. So this time around, they one lady say her work is on behalf of Yombli to always attack, insult, and in fact, lead the man, go for the man wife. Go for the man wife, bully the man wife, call her name, do all kind of things every other day. So the guy say, okay, we'll find breakfast for her. So they've been serving her breakfast recently. And in the process, they've drawn in Yombli, her relationship with Yombli, and they've said all kinds of things, just as she has been saying lots of things about the former president. But then all of a sudden, Yombli take lawyers to call some of the folks, the seditions that they identify, to call them and trying to take legal issues with them. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? So let's see how far it goes. And we're going to follow. After the show, I will call the...
Also, at this point, the legal advisor to the president don't identify that that is freedom of speech.
No, you're a poor lawyer. Okay. So Yombli is too dignified to be spoken to, but Yombli feels okay when the former president of the Republic of Liberia is being attacked, insulted, demeaned, right, by her protege, right? So what message are you sending? But look, we'll hold it right there. We'll contact Susan and we'll talk about it and see. So let me be sure whether yes it's happening. Then we'll open big Pandora box. If your fee says a certain group of human beings in the country better than your friend, we'll tell you say that lie, right? No group of human being better than a friend in the country. So you sit down there and then you allow, your staff to be insulting the former president, ignoring the scene where the man was in power. You ignore the presidency and cost the man and sponsor and pay, how you call him, Prophet Key, to insult this man dead mother and everything. Then you come back and you want to show that attitude. Look, man, and that's what this morning I send kudos to those foot soldiers that this is what you have to do. Do you know what it means to have an organization and then you have the standard bearer of that organization? Then you sit down, you fold your hand. Somebody is insulting. Then no, nobody should make you feel if you ideologically protect your tendency means, oh yeah, you're lesser human. Then look at the nonsense, and then you'll be like trying to discourage citizens and say, oh, the man go for a successful son, blah blah blah. So what about young children that in America? Are they not successful? Can they be compared to your children? Can the status of Bwaka children and what they're acquiring now be compared to yours? So if you think you can do that, right? Well, why can't you? So the same standard doesn't apply. That's hypocrisy, and this thing is not going to work. And I like the courage, the fighting spirit of the young cadres within the CDC because they are seeing the CDC beyond Mr. Weir. If you sit down, Weir gets the score, the standard of your party gets the score, demean and reduce, that means you have no future. You have no future. You have to go back and start worshiping their children because guess what? 10, 15 years from now, their children will come and inherit the United Party and you'll be worshiping them because you have a demoralized CDC. And that's why you have to remain standing firm and defend because you need the CDC to stand in the space tomorrow to confront. They're attacking you. They're paying people to attack the CDC because they're protecting the space for their children to come and inherit. And you understand? So we understand their gimmick. But anyway, so let's go ahead. The president said you're going to bring yellow machine to the country. Here you go. So this yellow machine thing has been going back and forth. I sent you one video of the PPCC boss. I want you to play it so the Liberian people will hear what the PPCC boss had to say about this whole yellow machine thing versus what his role, his rules are as head of the PPCC, what the law requires, and all of that is important. So when you know these things, then you're able to just oppose exactly so for the common man to understand whether the things that are happening are right or wrong. There is a front page Africa publication also on the matter, right? That will be very good for you to also know. So why he got tries to gather that? Let me see what we can do with the publication. This is going to take us home, but just before that time, continue playing on *255*1#. *255*1# is the code, and let's see. The moment we reach the threshold, we'll do the draw. One shot, and of course we get the winners here, rice or money, just whichever one the players are qualified to win, you definitely get it because
I'm told it is rice and the 5K.
Okay, so
that the rice is just the extra bonus and the 5K is the price.
Is the price. Yeah. So you see there. So once we reach, we do the draw. It's up to you. You have like 31 minutes to go. Right, 31 minutes. You're still dragging at a snail pace. Imagine you win your $5,000 and then you get your one bag of rice. So you're not taking extra, 3,000 or 2,000 and change from that 5,000. So the 5,000 is going to stay with you. Then you get your one bag. You set your one bag down. Then you get 5,000. You can do your own calculation depending on what your needs are or what you want to do. *255*1#. The more you play, the better your chances are to win. Right here on the Freedom Morning Rise. So we got 30 minutes to go, and in that 30 minutes we can achieve, right? We can achieve a lot. Put it in the front page Africa newspaper. Right, but just before that, let's play the PPCT boss's comment.
My Excellency, the President, is invited to anything. We were invited, like Excellency the President, BBCs were invited. The President set up a special committee to look at the whole yellow machine situation process, headed by the Vice President. And in our law, in the PCC Act, that was more or less for national procurement. If you go in our Act, PCC participation on the yellow machine trip was more or less a due diligence trip, and it's backed by the following section of our law. Section 5, that C, by G to 2. To maintain integrity and transparency, he said as an invited observer. Wasn't there to make decisions on who will weigh the bill or anything, no. That role will play with what the channel along the Vice President. We're there to advise that particular committee the President set up on the whole procurement process as it relates to the acquisition of the yellow machine. That's what we're there for. And then I believe we came back from that trip, and the Vice President will give, we still go to that appropriate time. But what we say on that for now is the fact that there was a bidding process that went on.
So why you can't speak about it? You say you went as observer.
They invited a couple of companies.
So when you go as observer, then you speak about something, you can speak about the other one. You say the Vice President. So no, why arrangement that you, the independent observer now, according to this man, you went as observer.
So I won't speak to that part because that procurement process was
make
successful.
determination
At the appropriate time,
the contract or not, but rather to
thank you on that. But that's what we'll get there as I said.
yeah. And I don't understand that
We have no right to
because
select who become the vendors who
in the whole
there
procurement
more
process, there's the
government
evaluations,
different procurement processes.
right?
As
And
opposed to
so,
how
what does the
those
law
who
say is
will
about
buy. That's what we'll play.
him getting
Now, one issue.
with that? Does the law actually create an opportunity for him, right? That evaluation is about making the assessment and visitation, review, and all of that, and so on and so forth. The head of the Liberal Public Procurement and Concession Commissions (PPCC) has got several functions, and among those functions are implementing the Public Procurement and Concession Act. That means that entire law. When you're head of the PPCC, part of your function is to ensure that that law is implemented in government procurement processes, managing the day-to-day affairs of the institution, and then promoting transparency and accountability. Meaning, every actions and activities within government and government procurement policy, you as the head of the PPCC must ensure transparency. Transparency means openness. The process must be open. The process must be open, right? Clear and accountable. Accountability is telling the people every cent and dollar, the details of every action, the details of everything that's happening, the trip that you're making, and all of that. You don't do surreptitious travels and take secret decisions and make secret arrangements only when the media, particularly us, make noise about these things, and then you come back to say, the trip, that was nothing, man, I just went there. Have we ever, is that precedent? No. We don't have a precedent where there is a government procurement and then the PPCC bought John Kulu, I won't go on a trip as observer, or won't go observe. Where? Mama, you're not even ashamed to be saying that, sir. Now, to ensure capacity building, you build capacity of government procurement, department or divisions and all of that to ensure that they conform to best standards and best practices. They have the requisite skills, they have the requisite knowledge, power to deliver the job so that people don't, move on them. But in fact, when you the head are demonstrating a lame duck attitude, then what more about the rest of the staff? Digitizing, stakeholder engagement, enforcing compliance, monitoring and enforcing compliance with procurement regulations and standards. As a boss of the PPCC, you're supposed to ensure that any government contracts or procurement matter that are going on government that's undertaking that, abide and apply by the compliance, enforce compliance to the PPCC's regulation. You do not allow a vice presidential committee set up a special requirements or procedure that you ought to follow and buy into. This is the blunder of our PPCC boss, and he doesn't want to accept that, right? He's been shielded, and we know, right? Provide policy guidance. You provide policy guidance to the vice president of it. The vice president of it don't dictate how the process go on, how you follow. No, it is you that sets the rule and encourage the vice president committee to follow in accordance with the laws and the acts, because you're the head of the PPCC, right? But what did you do, Mr. Johnson? What did he do? You let all of those ones. You are to provide policy guidance and advice to the government on procurement-related matters. But rather, what did we see? The Vice President Committee were the one providing guidance and telling him what to do in the yellow machine procurement process. The current head of the PVCC, Borger Scott Johnson, who was appointed since 2023, but for whatever reason he has sold his soul. He has pledged to transform that area and make it whatever. But on the contrary, in the instant case with the yellow machine procurement, big doubts continue hanging over his head and his decisions. Even folks within the entity are speaking to us, and they're telling us that no, these things are clearly what he said to Mika. What we just play is a complete cover up. It makes no sense, and we'll tell you how and why it makes no sense. As executive director of the Labor Procurement, Public Procurement Concession Commission, Borger Scott, as any other person, plays many rules, to include independent review. That is his office. What he is supposed to do, to independently review.
Not a bare ball.
Yeah. And HAGGAI in this case, because the bid process is on, there will be too many people, right? So you don't take side, you don't go joining and going supervising or inspecting, right? No, because you are the referee. You can be a player. That's why you're not supposed to go there, because when you go there, there's a possibility that you could be corrupted. And you come back home, you say that in your referee chair now, you already have that sentiment for whatever party. You've been convinced for a particular party. So when you come back, you're not going to review independently anymore, because you have already developed a mindset. You already have a direction. The vice president have already given you a direction. There is no way Mr. Scott Johnson can run away from these facts. These are glaring facts. Your ability to independently review and conduct an independent review and evaluation, to be able to evaluate the report and bidding document to ensure compliance, are questionable, because this is why you must be independent, so that when the reports come, all of the different participating bidders will send in the report to your office. You have to review them and make sure that all of them follow, but you yourself are on the trip, right? There is, in no profession you can be the referee and then the player. You got to tell us that alone you have violated your own code of office. Granting no objection. As the head of the PPCC, the law allows you the opportunity to grant objection if satisfied. The PPCC issues a no objection to the procuring entity, allowing the contract to proceed. That means the PPCC has got to be satisfied with all of the terms and conditions and blah, 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 and all of the other things the law requires, and then say, oh yeah, we're satisfied, so granting no objection, let the contract go ahead. You sign the contract. That does not apply to this instant case. You play an advisory role, right? The PPCC director advises the government on procurement matters and ensure that procurement processes are conducted fairly and transparently. But participants within the process have been complaining. We will come to a particular instance, and that report is contained within the front page. Just open it, be skimming through it.
Wait on the shit.
No, the front page link that I sent you.
Yeah.
Right.
The Facebook link. Right?
Yeah. Authenticating compliance. Supposed to be the one in your office to authenticate through verifying that the bidding process was conducted in accordance with applicable procedures. How do you do that fairly and independently as required? If you form part of a committee, and he is right in that picture, you form part of a committee, you go to China and participate, and you come back to Monrovia and tell us that no, I was there, I was just observer. Why did we carry all the media people for? And at the go there, must we have the PPCC director there as well? Were we in the different hotel rooms and the conversations that were held, right? Were we in the special chambers, right, with these people? This is a clear demonstration of bias, and you're not supposed to. What you're supposed to do, you're supposed to ensure fairness, ensuring that bidders are treated equitably and without bias. Reviewing evaluation reports and bidding documents to ensure compliance with regulations. Now, the law also provides what the PPCC boss cannot do. And this is where it is going to defeat his comments at MICAT. The law says, as head of the PPCC, you cannot say there should be no involvement in evaluation process. And what they went for in China was an evaluation, right? The law says clearly the PPCC cannot get involved with evaluation processes. The PPCC executive director should not participate in the evaluation process or site visits. Then I'm saying this is what the law says. But you have a PPCC boss that went to MICAT and said, oh, he went there to observe. The law says you cannot visit site. You're not supposed to be part of site visits, as this could compromise the independence of the procurement process. God, this is it. So the entire yellow machine procurement process has been compromised. Has been bought. And we challenge them, all of them that are on that trip. You have the guy from Public Works. Another thing that you cannot do, you cannot participate, say, no pre-evaluation involvement. That means before the evaluation happens, that process is, you cannot be involved with it. But this PPCC boss has been involved with all of the pre-evaluation processes, thereby violating the laws. Folks, if we want to do things, let's do it clearly and do it in consonance with the laws. We can't be saying we're doing the right thing, but we're violating the laws and slapping the laws. They're always undertone. And I challenge the PPCC boss to come publicly and say the contrary, right? There might have been motives. Are you trying to protect your job? You have a 10-year job that extends, I don't know how many more years you got, right? But you have a 10-year job. Or you want to renew. So you join in a kind of cahoot with the vice president because he's passing around guaranteeing people now. Right? Once you're okay with the vice president, that means you can get your renewal. And for that, you are prepared to violate and, of course, slap your own very law in the face. You're not supposed to get no pre-evaluation involvement. I challenge you to come and say, oh, no, the law did not say that. And I challenge you to come and say your action does not equate to pre-evaluation involvement and, of course, your involvement in the evaluation process. The PPCC should not be involved in the pre-evaluation stage, as this could create conflicts of interest and undermine the integrity of the procurement process. The law says when you get involved with pre-evaluation processes, right, that will what? Create conflict of interest. And this is it. So he's caught between applying the PPCC law and, of course, the mandate of the what you might call it, the vice president committee to this point. And this is how, when you read this publication, this article from Front Page Africa, Worrying, when you read this article, you open it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just read from the screen there.
So
the other company protests. They wrote a protest letter.
Yeah, so this is from the Front Page Africa. A local company, ABK Incorporated, has formally protested the Ministry of Public Works' decision to reject its multi-million-dollar bid for the supply of earth-moving equipment and utility trucks, describing the action as questionable and inconsistent with the ministry's own evaluation findings. In a letter dated August 27, 2025, and signed by the Public Works Minister Roland Lafayette Guinness, the ministry informed ABK that its bid submission met all of the qualification requirements and specifications as outlined in the bidding documents.
Just hold it there. Just read that part again, right?
In a letter dated August 27, 2025, and signed by Public Works Minister Roland Lafayette Guinness, the ministry informed ABK that its bid submission met all of the qualification requirements and specifications as outlined in the bidding documents.
All right.
However, the letter went on to declare the company's financial proposal not satisfactory and not responsive to the government of Liberia's pre-financing plan, a justification the firm says lacks merit.
Okay, so hold it right there. Listen to the contradiction, right? So the bidding document contains all of the requirements from the government entity that's requiring the bid or that put out the bid and all of that, right? So Public Works is part of it, and you know the yellow machine thing, right? So Public Works writes a communication and says to ABK, for example, and said that your company met all of the requirements as contained within the bidding document. But however, right, we are rejecting your company because the financial proposal that you made are not satisfactory and not responsive to the government of Liberia pre-financing plan. So who created that extra pre-financing plan that was not contained within the bidding document, even though the bidding document had its financial plan, right? Now, that's the course we'll get to, but let's hang that one there, and then he can go with the read further.
This is to notify you that your bid submitted June 30, 2025 for the supply and delivery of 285 earth-moving equipment and 20 utility pickup trucks under RFB number MPW/MRF/G/ blah 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 blah, with a bid price of 25,237,100 United States dollars, met all of the qualifications, requirements, and specification required by the Ministry of Public Works as outlined in the bidding documents. However, your financial proposal terms of payment parenthesis is not satisfactory to the government of Liberia, the letter stated. The letter further noted that ABK's bid was deemed not responsive to the government's pre-financing plan according to the ad hoc bid evaluation panel and approved by the Road Maintenance Committee and the Public Procurement and Concession or the PPCC respectively. In response, ABK lodged a formal complaint invoking section 125 of the PPCC Act, which
that before the ABK company's response, right? The portion here, what they talk about the financial requirements. So now the question becomes, folks, that you all need to ask the PPCC, the Public Works, and remember, I've been telling you that there's a syndicate that's been built already, set up. This quote unquote Jeremiah Kuhn presidential syndicate that's exploiting every contracts and getting whatever they can get to prepare themselves to build a strong, a solid financial, position in the lead up to 2029, sorry. So this is it. It's unfolding gradually. So we will get there, but we're not there yet. Okay, so let me see. So the government of Liberia, first of all, is represented through the institution that put out the bid. And in that bid, the bid document, all of the requirements of the government of Liberia is represented in that bid document. So this is the point I always want you to know. So if you say to a company that we are satisfied with all of your submission and it has met and satisfied all of the requirement within the bidding document, so you come back and say, yet we deny you because there's a government of Liberia. So that is the work the government of Liberia thing they're telling you about. It is the agreement of the syndicate, of that special group of people that are sitting somewhere that did not see their own interests reflected sufficiently within the bid satisfaction that ABK made in accordance with the bidding document. So other companies accepted to provide those additional underside kickbacks that is not contained. So this is the satisfaction that they're talking about. You see the way the people running this country and using the country. I see all of you hungry folks out there still be defending these people, and you don't even know what is going on in your own country. You don't even know what is going on in your head. Let's go ahead with ABK letter and his response.
Okay, ABK. The letter further noted, okay, blah, blah, blah. In response, ABK lodged a formal complaint invoking Section 125 of the PPCC Act, which allows aggrieved bidders to seek an administrative review of procurement decisions.
That means you write the people and say, okay, I challenge the action. So let's go and review the process.
We hereby lodge a complaint under PPCC Act Section 125 regarding the rejection letter we received on September 15, 2025, dated August 27, 2025, which states that our bid met all qualification requirements and specifications, but was deemed not responsive because the financial proposal, terms of payment, was not satisfactory and not responsive to the government's pre-financing plan, the company's management would. ABK added, we acknowledge receipt of the results of the above procurement package, reference as follows. We have our attributed facts and circumstances surrounding the unfair evaluation process.
That hold it right there. And what did the law require for the PPCC to do? Fair what? Evaluation process. But when the PPCC director gets involved with pre-evaluations and all of that, it ends up into what? Unfair evaluation processes. So are you connecting the dots? Are you getting where we are going? And the man goes to Mika and sits there under a stage and arrange press conference and start to say, "Oh, I went to be observer." Are you even supposed to be there? And this is it. So when we told you that it will compromise the process, this is how a company that participated, a company that got satisfied and of course clear, that later on got denied, is alarming and of course citing laws to say that the process was unfair and our denial was unfair. Go ahead.
The company further contended that its bid contained no material deviation from the stated requirements, arguing that the rejection makes apply Section 62(9) of the PPCC Act.
Fine. So what they went and toward the law, the poking finger. So in a layman, the finger this section of the PPCC law to twist it in way and make it like say, so practically and of course objectively, no, the people met all of the standards and the requirements, but the thing is the cost here is certain quantity of pickups were supposed to be given beyond closed door, right?
Setting amount in cash.
With this ABK operations, they're afraid that once Liberian men, enter the mail at some point, Lambar or bring the thing out. So they want to deal with the Chinese people, right? That's how they're doing the whole thing. Go ahead further, bro.
ABK maintained that it possesses the financial capacity to pre-finance 100% of the contract within 4 months, pledging adherence to all terms and conditions outlined in the local purchase order and specific contract conditions.
And this capacity was communicated, and it is known to the bill evaluation committee, it's known to the vice president committee, it's known to everybody associated, it's known to the president office. The bank always also acknowledged and said that yes, they have the capacity. But the committee, the special committee of feature thieves, say no, we get our pickup and our million and our guarantee. When we start coming for the million, the Labrador company will play Fitija, like can we say Fitija or so we not agree.
The company listed US 20,575,000 in total assets and outlined its sources of funding. 1, US 10 million as income. 2, US 10 million as a bank letter of credit, and 3, US 575,000 in real estate and transportation assets. The United Bank for Africa, or the UBA, also confirmed ABK's financial standing, forwarding a credit letter to the Ministry of Public Works verifying that ABK maintains active corporate accounts with the bank.
So now, the committee says they didn't get the financial capacity. They wrote their whole bank statement, their whole financial, and of course their asset, over 20 million. Then, when the committee said that, the bank UBA said, no, this company talking about no, they're solid though. So the bank puts its name on it, send a communication to the committee and say, no, this company, they have this. Yeah, we can guarantee they can do this. But the committee says no. And a Labrador company, no. When we only our small thing will not cancel one Chinese. So clearly indicating that, of course, the process as required by the PPCC Act was violated. It was not done transparently. And the Director General of the PPCC sits there boldly and accept that. And partners are supposed to believe that we'll have a responsible PPCC in Liberia. Go ahead, Father.
We would like to recommend ABK Incorporated for any legally suitable partnership venture that you may intend to undertake because the company has proven to be financially viable, reliable, and honest since inception of operation with the United Bank for Africa Liberia Limited, or the UBA, the UBA route. We confirm our willingness to support credit financing structure requests from the company in excess of US 20 million, subject to satisfying the bank's credit policy requirements for the supply and delivery of delivery of 285 earth moving equipment and 20 utility pickup trucks under RFB number blah 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 blah, and you know that.
That 20 utility pickup truck is when they keep pushing. So the ABK will say, okay, we'll put 20 pickup there. Like the pickup will be distributed. But however, this is it. So the bank go on further say, no, we have credibility in these people. They've been working on all this stuff. They have this. So in fact, we are prepared to give 20 million. And that's how you see initially the ABK company says in 4 months we'll pay the money that you require. In 4 month period. We'll pay that money and you get the machines in. But Mr. Kun, Haggai Kun say the Nima people. And say no, we don't want that one. So now we come to the controversy over the PPCC chief's role in China trade. It will always come back to the PPCC because when you ignore the law, I think we are caught up with time, so we gotta we got to hold it there. But folks, check get this read. Tomorrow we'll come. We'll do more.
On that.
But look,
fine.
You see, this is how they're running the country. This is exactly how they are running the country, and it's terrible. It's bad. It's unacceptable, and you can't be doing that. And you think you're running the country brilliantly. When they say, "Oh, Liberian company, Liberian businesses, they can't do that." How do you create middle class? If a foreign bank is vouching for a Liberian company, you say no, take it because your possibility of kickback is not guaranteed. You take it from them. So we gotta go. Let's take 5 calls, please. To whoever is coming, let's give us 5 calls and then
5 calls. 0776104104 886-500-104. Just under 30 seconds, you've got to contribute right here. 0776104104 886-500-104. Let's see if we can pick just 5 calls. That is if we can have them, but if not,
we can. Then we don't have the time to be. Okay, this is Thomas. Thomas, good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Good morning.
Let me say good morning to your many listeners. Thomas Nsabo in my capacity as press and propaganda secretary for District 2 UV. Abu, let me say thank you to you and HAGGAI for the many talking points. I see what Omer Sensana said is true. Imagine our passing coming in video one day and some guy put up a roadblock, start talking. They begin they rude because the president that's a million man. Now what we here for? So imagine if that guy who have the mindset, when he hear a group who believe in him were there, you know what's going to happen to me. So these things just happen. They gotta put a roadblock. The intent of that they will not do it. And they will just start harming other people.
That's correct.
Who can't do young Blikanga and allow her leggy get in her office.
No. That's not a conversation. We just did that in passing. So we're talking about the PPCC boss. The nation need to be rallied for that man to leave. Let him resign and leave the office. He had desecrated that office. Good morning.
Good morning. How you coming on this morning?
Good morning. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I really admired Omer Sensana this morning when people interviewing him related to security networking like we were here. It made my day. You see, what is unfolding in this country is sometimes the police too, they try to create an avenue for competition. At the end of the day, they think they're out of hand. Now, let's look at the most recent one where this guy they were informed that this man was armed. Any call license or not?
Okay, I'm sorry. I think we're going to talk about that thing tomorrow. And so I'm sorry. Time is fast spent. We got to go.
We'll be here tomorrow. But until we are here, let's keep the peace of Liberia. This country will not burn.
And tomorrow, HAGGAI will tell all of us what he brought from Nigeria. We never had the time to talk about that. So, folks, until we see you tomorrow, do have a wonderful time. Bye-bye. We just didn't meet the church. It's right there. We're almost, but we didn't. But let's hope the next announcer coming after us will definitely do the joy and make the payment. Until we see you tomorrow, do have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.